Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Sacred Union Energy Update. If you guys saw, by the time this video goes up, it'll have uploaded. I was called to something completely different. I was called to actually channel messages directly between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, to do a reading like that. And we've done that on the channel before, but it hasn't been in a very, very long time. Very intense energies between the two. A lot of love. And it seems like it was the two of you that were like trying to express to each other where you've been, as far as, you know, where you've been on the journey, how you feel towards each other. It was very interesting energy, stuff that we've been channeling in our readings, coming forth directly from Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. So do you give that a chance, or do you give that a listen? I'll put a link in the description box there below. If it doesn't resonate with you, just don't take it. Just disregard it. But it was very intense energies, and it felt like you guys are really trying to express to each other how you've been feeling, where you've been. Just basically things that we have been channeling here through our readings, but it's like they wanted to speak to you. And you wanted to speak to them, almost like a conversation that you actually wanted to have to express your heart fully, just in a different way. So it was very interesting. I got that call early this morning to do that. I sat with it for a while, and I finally went to do the reading. I wasn't sure if I was going to post it or not, and I did just because I was called to. So do take it as it resonates for you. Something completely different. But I want to follow up with just a regular reading, because if you guys could tell in my voice when I was channeling, it was intense energies that was coming through, very emotional. I was trying to hold back a lot, my own emotion, feeling around it, because it was very, very emotional. So I want to just do just a regular check-in and see what's going on between these two counterparts right now. Just to let you guys know, I am closing to personal readings at the end of the month for a week, April 27th through, I think it's May 3rd or something like that. So make sure that you get your bookings in now. I am filled up for next week. I might be able to do an emergency reading or two next week, but I am fully booked. So we're moving into the following week for reading. So make sure that you get your slots in, your readings in, requests in now, because I will be closed for the final week just so that I can finish my book, and I have a couple of other creative projects I want to work on. I'll still be around for some Sacred Union Energy updates if I'm called to, if I'm feeling up to it, but I'm going to pull back from even those, just so that I can concentrate on finishing up what I need to finish up. Okay, so let us see what is going on between these counterparts. What's going on? What do we need to know, Spirit? What do we need to know? Yep, that came out. Okay, here's what I'm feeling here. We've been channeling this week that there's a lot of forward movement that's happening, and if you can't see it quite yet, especially with this moon energy here, you might not be seeing it quite yet in the physical 3D, especially if you're a Divine Feminine, but there is forward movement that's happening within the connection, at least behind the scenes, at least underneath the surface. There's transformation that is happening. The illusions are being cleared. That's the Seven of Cups energy. The illusions are being cleared because action is being taken. There's a decision that was made to come forward for this connection. And there's truth that's going to be revealed. Let me see what the Seven of Wands is all about. I feel like they're defending this connection, but let me see what this is about. I'm hearing, I don't want to fight you anymore, but I want to fight for this connection. I don't want to fight you anymore, but I want to fight for this connection. So it does feel like they're trying to bring in truth to you. Their Divine Masculine especially is trying to bring in truth to you. Seven of Wands, please. What's the Seven of Wands about? That's too many. What's the Seven of Wands about? Yeah, and the Ace, and I'm going to take that one as well. Yeah, because I want that reunion. Okay, and there's the Moon. So what it feels like the energies of the past week, you might have been feeling the intensity, you might have been feeling the fluctuation, because there was a lot of purging, number one, a lot of healing that was occurring within the connection, especially for the divine masculines. Divine feminines, you might have actually been feeling that energy as well. Now, I'm not talking about the collective energies. We've been collectively feeling like the global awakening. We've been purging and healing, transmuting for the masses as a whole, for the planet as a whole. But within this connection specifically, divine feminines, you might have been feeling your divine masculine experiencing some self-forgiveness, some purging of the past, some purging of their own toxic energy. And also what has occurred is abandonment wounds coming back up to the surface for both counterparts, both for divine feminines and for divine masculines. Now, I did channel some messages on revisiting abandonment wounds. I'll put that link in the description box below. Basically, what I was told by my spirit guides was that both of you are experiencing the same abandonment wound, just displayed in different ways. And that's been like that on the journey. And what's happening is the abandonment wound is coming back up to the surface for a final release, for a final clearing. The remnants of it is coming back up because you can't take it with you into this next phase of your journey, into this next phase of your partnership. The next phase of your partnership is about trust. It's about honoring the connection. It's about nurturing the connection and coming into this harmony together. It doesn't mean there won't be triggers. It doesn't mean there won't be obstacles and challenges. But now when you're coming into partnership, when you're coming into that union, you're doing it together. You're overcoming it together. You're healing together. So what they had said to me was that the abandonment wound that you have both experienced are two sides to the same coin. It was a little bit convoluted. There's a lot more to it, but basically, divine masculines have been looking like they've been retreating from the connection. They may have been withdrawing. They may have been blocking the connection. They might have been pulling away, emotionally distant. But that's because of their fear around abandonment. It's like they were in flight reflex. Divine feminines, on the other hand, they were almost in like fight reflex, fight response, because their abandonment wound caused them to hold on to the connection even tighter. It was like clinging to it. It was attaching to it. It was a fear of loss. It was a fear of being abandoned. It was a fear of rejection and neglect. All that tied up into the core abandonment wound. Both of you fearing abandonment, but displaying that fear, expressing that fear in different ways. So divine masculine, they were pushing the connection away because they were afraid to get too close, because they were afraid that if they got too close, then they would ultimately be abandoned. Divine feminines were holding on to the connection too tightly because they were afraid that if they let it go, then it would disappear. An abandonment wound as well. So that is what has been shifting with the 444 portal and the full supermoon in Libra. All about balancing, all about harmony, all about releasing these final remnants, these final energies, so that you can come into harmony, so that you can come into that balance within your relationship, within your partnership. So I feel like that's what this energy is here. And not everything is revealed quite yet because you're still moving through the energies of the moon cycle, of the full moon. But there's clarity that is coming, that is being revealed to you, whether in dream state, whether energetically, whether in meditation and downloads, or even in your physical connection with communication. That being said, there is action that is going to be taken over the next few days to weeks is what they just told me, days to weeks. So take it as it resonates for you and your situation. But they specifically said days to weeks. There's going to be action that is taken. This can come in a number of different ways. Everybody has to take it as it resonates for you, because even though we're talking about general collective, your situation, your path, it's going to look a little bit different because your path is unique. even though we belong to the collective energies. So it could be communication, it could be a physical reunion, it could be a conversation, like a heart-to-heart conversation, it could be intimacy, more vulnerability within your connection, a deepening of your connection. Take it as it resonates for you. But what is happening with that forward movement, this this Knight of Wands energy here, funny I said ace there, this Knight of Wands energy, is the illusions are being cleared, the cobwebs are being cleared from the mind, the confusion is being cleared from the mind. You're seeing things more clearly here, and what you're seeing is this connection, seeing the love that exists between you two, and seeing that everything else, all the pain, all the struggle, all the strife, was just ego. That was just your fears. That was just your self-protection, your self-preservation mode, which is ego. That was just insecurities that was coming up to the surface. Especially, I feel like both counterparts are clearing this. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. So there's clarity and conversation and communication that is coming in. There's truth that is coming in. And with the Seven of Wands here, what I heard was Divine Masculine doesn't want to fight you anymore. Doesn't want to fight this connection anymore. Now it's like they are standing up for this connection and moving towards this connection. Even if it's not being revealed quite yet to you, even if you can't see it yet, Divine Feminines, this is what's happening beneath the surface. There's forward movement that is happening to you, for you, towards you, that is much more grounded, much more stable, that is bringing in a new beginning and clarity, which is going to feel like justice to you. It's going to feel victorious to you because it's inner wisdom that's coming to the surface. This is not ego. The Hermit is not ego. The Hermit is all about the intuition. The Hermit is all about the heart. The Hermit goes within to, I'm hearing dissect. I think I'm translating that wrong. Dissect, determine the truth, to understand the truth of the self, and through that they gain wisdom. And that's what's happening here. There's a lot of communication that's coming in, and then with the Six of Cups, this is leading to a reconciliation. This is leading to a reunion energy. This is leading to more harmony. So what's been happening is, for Divine Feminines, now this is reflected in both of you. Divine Masculines are learning to overcome their illusions and confusion and their ego, to not let pride get in their way, to not let their ego get in the way and hold them back for what it is that they want. Divine Feminines, you're mirroring this because you're not holding on to the same patterns, where if you're seeing something in the 3D that doesn't reflect what you're feeling within your heart space, you are not going under the same cycle of lack of faith and lack of security and doubting this connection anymore. You're being more mindful and conscious of your thoughts and of the patterns that have been cycling, and by doing that, you're putting an end to that cycle and coming back to a place of love. I'm going to use myself as an anecdote, and I talked about this in the Revisiting Abandonment Wounds or Abandonment Healing video. I recognized that there was a slight trigger when I was with my Divine Masculine, where I could have gone down that route of, he doesn't care about me like I thought he did. He doesn't, appreciate me like he appreciates others. He's holding himself back. He, maybe he doesn't really love me. And I started going down this spiral of, maybe he isn't my Divine Masculine. Maybe he isn't my person. Maybe I was wrong about this whole journey. Maybe I was wrong about this whole connection. And it was funny because I had a moment where I caught myself in that cycle and recognized that as a pattern and as a cycle, where if there's something that's a trigger for me in the 3D, I automatically go to a place of lack of faith, even though my heart has that knowing, that absolute knowing, and that feeling, that truth within myself. Because of the 3D, whatever happens in the 3D that triggers that old abandonment wound, I automatically pull back and say, wait a minute, maybe this isn't true. Maybe this isn't real. Maybe I'm just making this all up, which is easy to do. But that's where you have to come back to that place of faith. That's where you have to come back to that place of knowing. And I caught myself in that cycle. I said, no. I'm not doing that again. I'm not going down that road again. I'm not perpetuating that pattern anymore within myself. And the minute I recognized that pattern, I came back to a place of love, and I felt my heart just expand and open up to just pure love for and from my divine counterpart. For and from my divine counterpart. I felt such an overwhelming energy of love for him and from him. And it was because I was able to recognize where I was losing faith, where I was having doubt, and pull back from that patterning, to recognize the patterning, to recognize the thought process that was blocking me, that it was my ego that was trying to protect me from pain, because that had been a pattern, that abandonment had been a pattern in the past. And I was still replaying that same story, but I was managed to catch myself, be mindful of my thoughts, and not perpetuate that cycle. That's this energy here. That's the illusion that is breaking through. And because you're breaking through the illusion, and I feel like this is collective, you may be experiencing it in a little bit of a different way. I share my story in case that does resonate with you, but you might be experiencing it in a little bit of a different way. But you're breaking through the patterns. You're starting a new cycle. And you're breaking through the egoic illusions that have been holding you back, and thus holding back the connection. And this is for both of you. This is for both Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines. Divine Masculines, they are going through their healing and their transformation for the same cycle, just in a different way themselves as well. A very heavy self-forgiveness energy for the Divine Masculines. Forgiving the past, breaking through their past cycles through forgiveness, through self-forgiveness. And Divine Feminines, you're breaking through your past cycles by... Well, yes, they're saying, yes, self-forgiveness as well, but by consciousness, through your consciousness, through being mindful of your thought process. So really interesting energy here. There's a lot of forward motion that is happening here as a result of breaking through the illusions. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. This energy, divine, the Emperor energy, it feels like both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, where you're in control. And now this isn't manipulative control. Sometimes the Emperor can be a little bit manipulative because they like to be in control. They like to be in a place of authority and leadership. This feels like control in a healthy manner. This feels like control of recognition and self-awareness. Remember when I said Divine Masculine is in a place of self-forgiveness? That's coming on the heels of their own self-awareness, reflecting on their past patterns, their past behaviors, and how they want to change the cycle going forward as well. Divine Feminine, this is you being in control of your thought patterns, of your emotions, of anything that is holding you back. And you guys, this energy is completely mirrored. This energy is merged here. So take Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine as it resonates for you, because it could be both. Because you guys are mirroring each other. You guys are like side by side here. You're mirroring each other. There's no, when I tell you there's no separation here, this is union energy. There is no separation between the two here. You're mirroring each other exactly at this point in your transformation. You're just doing the healing work. It might seem in a different way, expressing itself in a different way for both counterparts. But you're mirroring each other because you're healing the same things, breaking free of the last cycles of illusions. Oh my gosh, the Sun, the happiest card in the deck. Yeah, you're cutting through the illusions. You're breaking through the illusions and receiving the clarity that's necessary to do that. This is the clarity that's coming in. This is the sunshine after the darkness. You guys have been through a journey where there were a lot of very dark nights of the soul. And what is a dark night of the soul but a lack of faith, a lack of feeling connected, a lack of clarity? It's just lack. But the sun is abundance. The sun shines its light on you and alleviates that lack mindset. It shows you clarity. It shows you truth. It gives you hope. It tells you to keep going. The sun is here. The sun is here. That light is here now. Coming back to that place of faith. Anything else we need to know? Anything else we need to know? It's too many. I'm not taking all that. Anything else we need to know? Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. You guys, you have ascended. Now, the Hierophant here is more of a 3D energy, where the High Priestess is that 5D. The Hierophant here is really divine masculine energy, awakened, conscious divine masculine energy. That the higher level connection. You guys have ascended. You have ascended the illusions. Any of, recognizing that tradition, while tradition might hold some value, that you are your own creator. You manifest your own life. You are ascending in your consciousness, shifting in your consciousness through your awakening. The Hierophant being a card of awakening. It doesn't mean that when we talk about tradition, this has an energy of like a lot of like past beliefs that you were holding on to. Like, for example, the Hierophant talks a lot about religious structures. And religion can be very traditional, very limited, very confining. But you're ascending out of that. You're shifting in your consciousness to one of a more spiritual nature, which is limitless. And so you're shifting to a higher level of consciousness, to a higher level of belief, to a higher level of understanding. And there's a sense of freedom here as well. A sense of freedom here as well, because you're not locked into those limiting beliefs that perhaps you once were. This just has such an energy of ascension about this Hierophant here. I feel like because you're ascending out of those limiting beliefs, breaking free from the illusions here, you have this new beginning. A lot of passionate energy here with this Wands energy, but you have this victory. You have been victorious over yourself. You have been victorious over your shadow aspects. You have been victorious over your limiting beliefs, over who you thought you were, recognizing yourself as soul and merging the energy of soul with the 3D. Recognizing that your human experience is just a human experience as soul, that you are first and foremost spirit, you are first and foremost soul, you are first and foremost love. That energy, just embodying a physical vessel for the human experience. And through that, you're ascending beyond the limiting beliefs that you once had, which is bringing you victory, which is granting you this new beginning. This Ace of Wands, also an energy of awakening, also an energy of ascension. But now it's like you're taking that wand and you're ready to wave that wand and create a new life for yourself with this new level of awareness, with this new level of self-connection and connection to each other, connection to counterparts. Again, it's like the High Priestess and the High Priest energy. Because you have ascended in your consciousness, you're ascending within this connection, within this love. That is what this divine union is all about. And so you're riding forward towards each other in this energy of victory, wanting to acknowledge this connection, wanting to be public and share the love with each other, this passion with each other, this new beginning with each other. And that's where the Hierophant comes back in with this energy of commitment and devotion to each other. And that's where it could be in the 3D in a form of like a marriage or a partnership or relationship. Some kind of traditional, so to speak, relationship. But it's because you have ascended in consciousness beyond that. You have recognized the connection beyond that. You have recognized that it is just about love. And that love is not confining. Love is not constricting. Love is not illusion. Because you have transcended beyond that, now you're both ready to come towards each other for this partnership, for this connection, for this beautiful commitment. Wow. All right, I'm going to get a romance angel and see if there's anything else that they want to say. Anything else? Spirit, anything else for this connection? Anything else for this connection? Anything else for this connection? Separation. This separation feels like it's coming to an end because what you are learning is that you're never truly separate. So if you were in physical separation, that's what you're ascending out of, the illusion of separation. Understanding that you are never truly separate from one another because of this love. And there was like a little feather that just dropped down. Did you guys see that? Wow. You're recognizing that you're never in the physical. There might be a perceived separation, but that's part of the illusion. That's part of the ego that likes to create separation by saying, well, I'm not with my divine partner in the physical right now, so that means that it's never going to happen. It's not possible. That's a limited energy that we were just talking about that you are transcending out of. Understanding that separation is nothing but illusion. And once you understand that, once you truly anchor that in and feel that, that's when that physical separation comes to an end. Because you are one. You are one. And it's recognizing that and feeling that. Anything else we need to know? And look at in this card how they're holding on to each other. There is no separation there. None at all. Do you see how they're holding on to each other? There is no separation, even in this depiction of this card. Separation is an illusion. Separation is just fear-based. It's just that fear of abandonment, of neglect, of rejection. But through this love, you cannot abandon each other. Through this love, you cannot reject each other. That's just the physical. And yes, the physical can be painful. The physical 3D experience can be a painful one. But that's where this journey has brought you. It has brought you healing. How to heal that. How to recognize the illusion. How to recognize the ego as self-protection, self-preservation. And to move back into that place of love and faith. And when you're anchored into that place of love and faith, all there is love. All there is each other. Anything else we need to know? Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, and stay optimistic about your love life. We received this card today in the daily energy draw. Faith. Have faith. Because with this getting to know each other, this feels like this Six of Cups energy, this reunion energy. You're coming back around to each other as transformed. And so it's about putting the past in the past, recognizing that the past versions of yourself are gone, it's over with, appreciating the past for how it's brought you here, but allowing both of you to be transformed and to recognize the transformation within each other. And when you recognize the transformation within each other, you recognize the love within each other again. You come back to the love. That's what it's about. You come back to the love. And it's a new start, this energy. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. It's a new start. That's this communication and clarity energy that's coming in. More vulnerability, more intimacy, more openness with each other. Because you're recognizing each other, the transformation that you have both been through, and the willingness to put the past versions of you in the past for this fresh start, for this new beginning. So be optimistic, have faith, keep coming back to that place of your own inner knowing, in your own heart space. Trust in your heart. Trust in what is within your heart space. I feel like I want to get one more. Is there anything else? Oh my gosh. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. Okay, what just flew out? But trust and honeymoon. And retreat. So it's funny, this card has been coming out a lot lately, the retreat card. This is the two of you together on this honeymoon energy. You see how they're in wedding garb? This is the two of you spending quality time together, getting to know each other again, learning how to trust each other again. This is that harmony energy. Moving into calmer waters now, leveling up. This card, honeymoon, has an energy of leveling up, playfulness, love, flirtation, just back to the beginning, but not back to with who you were. You can't go back. Starting with where you are, how you've transformed now, but with a fresh new start, with a brand new beginning. Honoring and loving each other, walking arm in arm. Wow. All right, you guys. That's going to be it for today's Sacred Union Energy Update. We'll be back Monday with another one. I think I'm going to take the weekend off just to rest and take care of myself and just enjoy my weekend. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend as well. We'll probably have a live chat next week. I wasn't able to get to it this week, but we'll likely have one next week. So hope you guys are staying well. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and we'll see you soon.